Hi, my name is Vanessa van Dijk, and in this video I'm going to show you the ordinary skincare routine for textured skin. Now, I have prepared for you a visual guide in a PowerPoint, which I now want to briefly cover, and then I'm going to go through it step by step so that it's not too overwhelming for you. So I came up with an example morning skincare routine as well as two examples of evening skincare routines which you would use on alternate days. Then below that you will find some general skincare tips which I gathered together based on the comments that I get, and they are mainly focused on how you can avoid a certain layering issues so that it feels comfortable on the skin. Below that you will find some sunscreen information about the sunscreen in general, having an application guide and how you can properly take it off. And then lastly you will find some skincare product descriptions, which are all the products that I have listed in my example skincare routines, with a little description next to it so that you know what they can do for you when using them, so that you understand the use of the products. And so you can find the entire PowerPoint in the description box down below if you want to go through it again in your own time. So let's get started with the morning skincare routine, which you can see right here. So this is a routine that you can follow daily. You have the steps right here. You can see the products underneath that I've picked, and below that the overall general guide. So we are starting off with the first step, which is washing your face. Now this can be primarily with lukewarm water alone. So just use water if that's something that you usually do, keep on going with it. Otherwise, work with a regular cleanser, and here you can see two examples that I can recommend suitable for the different skin types. Now, when working with the first step, which is going to be washing your face, you have your general guide of how you can use your cleanser right here below, so you can read through it, and based on that, this should give already like enough advice on how you then can put this into practice. So once you're done with washing your face in the morning, you're going to rinse it off and then pat the skin dry, removing the remaining water drops from the skin surface, which is a section that you can find under general skincare tips, which you can see right here. So take a clean towel, gently pat all over, please do not rub. Removing the remaining water drops from the skin surface can make a significant difference when layering other leave-on products afterwards, so that they can fully absorb into the skin, that you're not going to mix it with the remaining water, because otherwise it can feel dry and tight on the skin, which can be quite uncomfortable. Or you may come across a skincare pilling, which you can see right here. It looks like little balls are going to roll up on the skin surface when applying a skincare product, and you may think that it's your dead skin cells, but it's not your dead skin cells, it's the skincare product that you just have applied or previously applied, and it's not going to layer well. So here you can see some tips on how you can avoid skincare pilling, and the first one would already be after your cleansing step, that you really need to make sure to properly remove the water drops from the skin surface. So once you have done this specific step, you're going to move on to your first leave-on product, which is going to be a water-based serum using the ordinary marine hyaluronics, which adds long-lasting hydration to the skin. Apply to the skin, leave it on the skin, there's no need to wash it off. Then the waiting time in between is essential, again, to make sure that you will have a comfortable feeling when layering your skincare products. So a general guide would be with water-based serums to 30 seconds to a minute. Usually it happens already much faster. If it has already absorbed much sooner than that, well then you can immediately move on to the next step. But again, you need to make sure that there isn't a layer on your face, that it has fully absorbed into the skin. And then you're going to move on to the ordinary azelaic acid suspension. Now that one contains 10% of azelaic acid, and it helps to brighten and smoothen your skin. So this is a great addition to add to your morning skincare routine. Now you have to be careful with azelaic acid suspension. That one is rich in silicone. So whenever you have like still water or a previous serum on the skin surface that hasn't fully absorbed into the skin, your azelaic acid suspension is going to cause some problems because of the silicone. Usually water specifically and silicone do not mix well. So what they're going to do is they're going to create pilling. So this is again your skincare pilling situation. Now I'm currently working on a slide giving you the difference between skincare pilling and skin peeling. It isn't completed yet, but it should already give you a brief idea. And here below you can see already some pictures why it is different. So again, with peeling you can see that the serum or even makeup or whatever skincare product that you have used and it has not fully absorbed into the skin and you're going to rub over the skin again, it rubs off the skin surface. Whereas peeling can be a condition due to, for example, a sunburn or dry skin, or when working with retinoids or exfoliating acids or benzoyl peroxide, because you're going to remove that skin cells from the skin surface. So therefore you can see your actual skin peeling, but it's not peeling. Now I will get into this again because we do work with exfoliating acids and with retinol and retinoids, but again this is just like a reminder why it is so important to understand the difference between peeling and pilling, as well as the layering in general of your skincare products. So once you have applied azelaic acid suspension, you're going to leave it on the skin. There's no need to wash it off. Here I recommend waiting a bit longer in between so that the suspension can to some extent absorb into the skin, but to some extent also kind of set, so that when applying your sunscreen afterwards that you won't come across any issues. Now again, with the sunscreen, I did not pick the ordinary one because that one leaves a terrible white cast. I picked sunscreens that I can recommend that I like myself. And so then this will be those two examples. NIOD Survivor 30, which is a mineral sunscreen. Quite pricey, but it's a great sunscreen. Or a more affordable one would be Cosrx Always Soothing Sun Cream, which is a mixture of mineral and chemical. And so you're going to apply it to the skin, leave it on the skin. Now sun protection during daytime is important. If you have sun exposure, you have a general guide right here. Primarily because the UV rays can damage your skin in so many different ways. Not only sunburn, not only fine lines and wrinkles, not only hyperpigmentation, but it may be one of the reasons why you experience textured skin. So therefore sun protection during the day is important, especially if you're using other skincare products in the same routine or at night time that should help you to improve your skin condition. So you do not want to make it worse. You really want to give the skin the protection so it can heal itself. And then below that you will find an application guide as well, where it is recommended to apply your sunscreen 10 to 15 minutes before sun exposure. So with the two sunscreens that I've picked, this is a great general guide that you can follow. Use about half a teaspoon for your face, neck and ears. Use about 1 teaspoon if you want to include the décolletage. However, if you should have a different sunscreen, then you may need to adjust the guide a slightly bit, but overall you should have a fair amount to properly blend it all over to protect the skin. If you want to see a visual guide on this, I have a video for you in the top right corner. And then this would basically wrap up the entire morning skincare routine and the steps that you would include. When it comes to the evening skincare routine, I came up with 2 examples. The first one includes exfoliating acids, which you can see right here. But let's break down the steps and then I want to get into the little details. So in the evening, washing your face with a cleanser is highly recommended because you want to make sure that you can properly remove your sunscreen and or makeup. So if you have light makeup on, if you went with Cosrx Always Soothing Sun Cream, for example, that one is a sunscreen that comes off very easily. So a regular cleanser can do the job already very much, because it even can be removed by just using water and a washcloth. So overall, using a regular cleanser is ideal. However, if you have used a mineral sunscreen, heavy makeup, or even extremely pigmented makeup, then I recommend working with an oil or balm cleanser to properly break it down before continuing with the rest of your skincare routine. You have the general guide below, but I do have a specific guide for you about the sunscreen removal as well. You could either go ahead and do a double cleanse, but I highly recommend using a washcloth in between. This can make a huge difference. So if you want to see the application, or let's say the removal of your sunscreen and or makeup, I have a video for you in the top right corner. Then when it comes to the next step, once you have properly washed your face, you have rinsed off, you have pat the skin dry, we are moving on to the exfoliant. So the frequency that you can see right here on the top, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, is the frequency of the exfoliant, on how often you're going to exfoliate your skin throughout the week. Now I went with AHAs as well as a BHA because it depends on your skin type. You really need to adjust it. So usually it's said that if you have a drier skin type, you can go with an AHA such as glycolic or lactic acid. If you have an oilier skin type, you would go with salicylic acid because it is able to break through oil. Therefore, it can not only help you to regulate your oiliness, has benefits of anti-inflammatory properties to reduce acne, but it helps to properly loosen dead skin cells on the skin surface. So one thing that they all have in common is that they are going to help to loosen the dead skin cells from the skin surface so that the new skin cells can basically race forward, which then helps to improve your textured skin. And so this is again the guide and the point that I do want to emphasize if you should experience peeling. So skin peeling can happen when working with exfoliating acids, because it tries to loosen the dead skin cells on the skin surface. So if you see peeling, this basically is your actual skin. However, for the morning routine, it isn't really your actual skin, it's going to be that peeling. So I do want to make sure that you understand the difference between peeling and pilling and when it happens and why it happens. And I'm going to complete the slide even further, but this should already give you a general guide. So exfoliating acids can cause skin peeling. However, something like marine hyaluronics or other water-based serums that add hydration to the skin usually cause skin care peeling. Now, when working with the exfoliant, this is a leave-on product, so once you have applied it to the skin, there's no need to wash it off. Now on the top you can see the frequency that I recommend if you follow both evening skincare routines. However, below you can find an overall general guide of a frequency when introducing an exfoliant to your skincare routine, so that you then can adjust it to your skin tolerance. But again, keep this in mind, this depends on if you just want to go with one of them or include both evening skincare routines. So once you're done with the exfoliant, you're going to move on to the next step, which is again the ordinary marine hyaluronics. Once you have applied it to the skin, you're going to leave it on the skin, give it a moment to absorb, and then you're going to follow with the last step, which is going to be your moisturizer. Now, I did not pick any random moisturizer. I went with moisturizers that contain natural moisturizing factors. So if you want to know what this exactly is, well, you will find it under the skincare product descriptions right here. Let's go with the ordinary natural moisturizing factors. So here you can see natural moisturizing factors are elements that keep the outer layer of the skin protected and well hydrated. Natural moisturizing factors are made out of amino acids, fatty acids, urea, ceramide, glycerin, and so on, you get the point, that are naturally present in the skin. The role of natural moisturizing factors is to draw in water from the air to the skin and keeping it hydrated. They also help to create a barrier so that harmful microorganisms cannot penetrate your skin. So overall, a moisturizer that contains natural moisturizing factors helps to strengthen and rebuild, plus protect your skin barrier. And so therefore it's a great addition to add as your last step in your evening skincare routine. And so again, you will find the general guide on how you can use it below. Then on the other days, when not working with your exfoliant, you can work with a retinol or Granactive retinoid. So the setup looks very similar, but we are going to use them on different days, such as, for example, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and or Sunday. Now put there and or Sunday because you may want to give your skin a break at least once a week from all those skincare products and then just wash and protect your skin. However, it isn't wrong to just keep on going with the routine, and then you have the frequency in mind. So again, washing your face is important to properly take everything off the skin that you have worn throughout the day. Then we're going to add hydration to the skin, and then we are moving on to the ordinary Granactive retinoid or their retinols. Now which one you're going to pick is basically up to you. Technically, Granactive retinoids are less irritating on the skin than retinols, so this may be already one reason why you may want to go with Granactive retinoid. But other than that, overall you can go with either one of them. Always start off with the lowest percentage possible if you're being new to it, and then move your way up if you still should feel the need in the future. Now, most Gram-negative retinoids and retinols contain squalane. So those are already quite gentle in formulation as well as quite hydrating on the skin on their own. So if you should have an oilier skin type and you should have picked one that contains squalane, you may not want to use anything afterwards, and that's completely fine by just using that one so it does not feel too heavy on the skin. However, if it feels comfortable on the skin, I recommend working with your gram-negative retinoid or retinol and then later on move on to the moisturizer containing natural moisturizing factors. But overall, those products right here help you to speed up the cell turnover. So again, as already mentioned with the skin peeling, it basically helps to push the new skin cells to the front so that the old skin cells can let go. And this is where you may come across as skin peeling, but still this can help you to not only improve your fine lines and wrinkles, but your textured skin as well. And below in the general guide section, you have the frequency of a retinol or retinoid as well, if you just would use that one, and how you can make sure that your skin is able to build tolerance to it the more often you want to use it. But again, then this would be the step: apply it to the skin, leave it on the skin, and then lastly would be the moisturizer with natural moisturizing factors. But there you go when it comes to the morning and evening skincare routines and how you can use the individual products when recreating the routine at home. And I do hope that you find this example routine helpful. I do hope that you enjoyed the PowerPoint. If you did so and you want to support my work in a free way, you can give it a big thumbs up as well as share it. Otherwise, if you want to share a tip, well, you will find the super thanks button below, or you can check out the description box and there you will find a PayPal link. Thank you so much already in advance. And if you now want to learn more about skincare, you want to see the different applications, I'm going to leave some of the videos at the end of this video so that you can keep on watching and learn more about skincare. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon in the next one. Happy skincaring. Bye.